Have you ever experienced having excess fluid accumulate in different parts of your body? This could be due to injury, insect bites, traveling on an airplane where you notice some swelling in your feet or your ankles, or perhaps you're a woman who's pregnant. However, this could also be due to more serious conditions like heart failure, liver disease, or kidney issues, as well as cancer. What I'm going to show you in this video are 5 natural ways that you can use to naturally drain the excess fluids out of your body. Hi everyone, I'm Deanna Won. I'm the founder of Keynotes to Life. I'm an international best-selling author, speaker, leadership consultant, and holistic health coach. I focus on helping people take personal leadership over their lives and over their health so that they can heal holistically from cancer or other chronic health conditions. Now you may be wondering how I got into doing this. Well, I was working as a physicist and colonel in the Air Force, and I thought everything was great until I got diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I actually ended up in hospice being told that I had 4 weeks left to live. By God's grace, I miraculously survived, and that is what fills me with so much passion to share my message and to share with you all the research that I've done so that you don't have to suffer like I did. In this channel, I share tips on holistic ways of healing from cancer. And so if you're new here, please subscribe to receive notice of my new videos. Now I'm going to share with you the 5 different ways that you can use to naturally help drain the excess fluid out of your body. And at any point along this video, feel free to check out the show notes below with the links, and I will list out everything that I mention in this video so that you can find them. And so, first of all, I want to talk about edema. Edema is a swelling that is caused by the accumulation of excess fluids in the body's soft tissues. How does it happen? Well, basically, it can be caused by different health issues, and some of the more common ones that can lead to edema include heart failure, kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and if the swelling occurs in the arms and legs, then it's called peripheral edema. If it occurs in the peritoneal or abdominal cavity, then it's called ascites. The most common cause for ascites is from liver cirrhosis, but it can also be due to various cancers like colon cancer, stomach cancer, pancreatic cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, ovarian cancer, and lymphoma. And so if you notice this developing, you definitely want to take action to resolve these issues as quickly as possible because they can lead to additional complications further down the road. How do you know if you have edema? First of all, you're going to notice some swelling that could occur in your feet, legs, hands, arms, or abdomen. There's 2 kinds of edema. There's pitting edema and non-pitting. In pitting edema, what you're going to notice is when you press down on your skin for a few seconds, your skin is not going to rebound like it normally does, and it's going to remain dented. Here's an image that you'll see when I put my left foot on my right leg where it created this indentation and imprint of my foot that actually stayed there. I know it's crazy, but I want you to be able to recognize this. Next, there's non-pitting edema, where it's in the later stages, and in this image you'll see my legs are extremely swollen and it's very painful, and I want you to be aware of this so that you can actually learn about natural ways that you can use to help drain this excess fluid out of your body. Lymphedema occurs when there's damage to the lymphatic system. This could be due to perhaps having a tumor press up against the pathway where lymph fluid can back up. This can also be due to treatment where, for example, if you have certain lymph nodes removed, this actually disrupts the lymphatic pathway. When I was in hospice, this really became problematic for me because both of my lungs actually collapsed and filled with fluid, and so it was really hard for me to breathe. I had to be put on oxygen, and even then it came to a point in time where I was literally gasping for air. And this is really a frightening experience because no matter how hard I tried to inhale, there just wasn't enough air getting into my lungs and into my body. And this can be very distressing. And so I don't want you to have to experience this. And so that's why I am wanting to share this information with you. Know that you don't have to go through this alone. So be sure to check out my website where you can actually request a consultation with me so that you can have my support and advice on resolving this or other health issues. So, what can you do when you're in this situation? 5 things. Number 1 is you can take some natural diuretics. And what are diuretics? Diuretics are things that actually increase the flow of urine through your body, so you'll actually end up having to use the bathroom more frequently. One that I like to use and liked a lot was actually something called corn silk tea. And yes, this is the silky white threads that you see on the end of a corn stalk, like when you eat corn on the cob. And so you can actually save some of this, and I would recommend using organic corn since most of the corn in this country is genetically modified. Or you can also go to your natural health market where you can actually purchase corn silk, and it comes dried up, it's brown color, and you can basically just add this to your cup, and I would fill it to like about a 1/3 cup full of the corn silk, and then you would add boiling water to this and steep it for 3 minutes and drink it 3 times a day. You can also use something like dandelion, where yes, that's the weed that grows outside in your backyard, but I like to actually use dandelion leaves in my salad. I juice dandelion leaves, and I also like to drink roasted dandelion root tea. And so this is something that you can actually purchase also in your natural or organic market, which is very helpful to help encourage just the flow of the fluids out of your body. Something else is called black cumin seed. And if you're not familiar with that, it looks a lot like black sesame seeds, so they're very tiny. They actually come out of the Middle East, and unlike sesame seeds, they actually have a very pungent kind of a flavor and aroma. And so if you're not used to it, it might be a bit strong for you, but I actually like it, and I actually incorporate black cumin seeds into my salad dressings, and I like to sprinkle it on my foods. And so that's something that you can definitely try. Hawthorn berry is another one, along with hibiscus flower. Both of these are very high in vitamin C, and hibiscus flower in particular is very helpful for actually improving your kidney filtration. So if you're dealing with any kind of kidney issues, I would definitely recommend that you incorporate this into your regimen. Horsetail plant is another one. It's a plant, and it's really super high in silica, which would be very beneficial for your teeth, your nails, your bones, and your hair. But it's also a really great diuretic. Green tea is another natural diuretic which can also fight cancer because of something that it has in it called ECGC. I'm not going to cover that now, but I'm looking at it more for the form of caffeine that it has in there that basically can cause your body to release excess fluids. But I do want to caution you because it does have this form of caffeine, and so if you drink too much of it, it can overstimulate your adrenal glands, which you don't want. The second thing that you can do is actually to incorporate lots of different vegetables into your diet. And some of the very helpful ones would be ones like asparagus, things like onion and garlic. And also there's something called turmeric root, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, but in case you're not, turmeric root is actually in the same family as ginger. And ginger is actually another helpful thing that you can incorporate into your diet. But getting back to the turmeric, it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. And I actually created another video on that, so please be sure to check out that video on turmeric root. The third thing that you can do is to use essential oils. Some of my favorites are lavender essential oil, and you may be more familiar with this from an aromatherapy perspective where you're inhaling the lavender, which can be very calming and soothing to your nerves. But it's also a very powerful anti-inflammatory. And so if your legs or your feet or your ankles are swollen with the fluid, you can actually use some of this lavender essential oil and just rub it on topically. Another essential oil would be juniper berry essential oil. Now, juniper berry essential oil can actually extract fluid out of your skin, and research has shown that it's very effective in fighting infection. And this is very important because, for example, when half of my right lung was filled with fluid and a third of my left lung was filled with fluid, that made it very easy for there to be just an oxygen depletion within my lungs where bacteria could overgrow, and that could lead to a condition called sepsis, which is a systemic-wide infection in your body that could kill you. So this is not something you want to play with. As soon as you notice that there is some fluid, or if you're feeling shortness of breath from the fluid seeping into your lungs, you definitely want to start implementing some of these items into your regimen. The third essential oil that I just want to mention is cypress essential oil. This is very helpful at improving circulation, and therefore that can actually help to reduce edema as well. The first three things that we covered, just to review very quickly, are natural diuretics, natural foods that you can use to help, natural essential oils that you can incorporate into your regimen. And now the fourth thing that I'm going to cover is exercise. The lymphatic system in our body is actually how our immune system is able to work. A lot of our white blood cells are within this lymphatic fluid, and so anytime you have bacteria, viruses, or fungus, it actually needs to be neutralized through the immune system. And to rid your body of these toxins, it has to flow through your lymphatic system. And so you definitely want to be sure that you're exercising. And this is really super important because the lymphatic system, unlike the cardiovascular system, which has its own pump with the heart, the lymphatic system doesn't have that. And so the only way this fluid is going to move is if you move. And so this involves contracting your muscles, it involves walking, running, jogging if you're able to. But if you're not able to do that, I would highly recommend using a rebounder, which is like a mini trampoline where you don't even have to have your feet leave the rebounder. You can actually just keep your feet on there and just gently bounce. And this bouncing motion will actually help to stimulate the flow of the lymphatic fluid. And the fifth thing that you can do if you're struggling with edema is to look for a manual lymph drainage therapist. This is someone who is skilled at very gently manipulating areas in your body where there's actually congestion, and to help move some of this lymphatic system out so that it can flow again. And now, I've got a question for you. From this video, which of the 5 tips that I shared jumped out at you or grabbed you? Or maybe you have some other tips that you would like to share, and if so, please share that in the comments below. Some of the best tips can actually show up in the comments, and so please become a part of this growing community of people who are healing naturally and holistically. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you appreciate the info that you just heard, please like it, share it, and just think about someone you know who needs to hear this information. And leave a comment below. Let me know if you want to hear about future topics in my future videos, and I'll be glad to incorporate some of those. And so the other thing I wanted to encourage you to do was to just check out the show notes below, check out my website, and feel free to request a consultation with me if you're struggling with this, or if you want to just get on my exclusive email list. And so thanks so much for watching. Until next time, please put into practice some of these tips that you heard so that you can love your life and live in health. Thank you so much. Take care.